Luke, many congratulations. What a comeback. You saw by your celebration just how much it meant to you, but try and put that into words for us.
Yeah, it's really hard to put into words. I was absolutely rubbish there. There's no denying that. It wasn't my best performance. The point breaking before I started wasn't the best thing, was it? Playing with a different set of darts, obviously it really didn't work for me. You can see on the stage I tried changing flights and stuff, nothing was working. So it's them set of darts that really have won 3 majors for me, and I had to put them in the case. So yeah, it wasn't easy for me. And then having about 99% of the crowd against me was quite tough as well. But I dealt with it in the end. That was one of the toughest games I've ever been involved in, to be honest. But win or lose that game, I would have took a lot of experience from that and a lot of knowledge in when I have to go through that again. But I felt like I dealt with it well. I didn't react until the end because I think they deserved it in the end.
You mentioned the preparation there. You looked dead and buried at one point in that 5th set. So how did you summon up the belief and the quality to get yourself out of trouble?
I felt dead and buried. I really did. I felt that way. I felt, there was nothing coming back. I wasn't even showing signs of a comeback. In the sets that he was winning, I wasn't really pushing him. I wasn't really, throwing out great darts. But, you get where I've got to, being world number 3. Sometimes it hits the back of your mind. You think, you are where you are for a reason. You have to show some sort of resilience. You have to show some sort of grit. And I want to keep progressing. These things they happen in your career. Not everything's rosy. Sometimes you have to work harder than ever, and you have to get through these games where they're not going your way. But I could have hit 110 average there. I feel just as good walking off with a 91 average. So I'm through to the next round, and I can change things now.
You've had an unbelievable couple of months, winning 3 big titles. Without that experience, do you believe you'd have won that game?
Probably not. I think I've gained a lot of experience, and that's credit to the PDC, because I think there's been a few players that are saying that we don't play enough tournaments. I think we play enough tournaments. There's a lot of tournaments we play in, so don't worry about that. I think it's just a matter of you have to, get yourself into that next level of getting into every tournament, because if we had more tournaments, I can't see where they go. So there is a point there, of course, but I think we're playing so much, and us, at the top 8, you're playing so many tournaments that you're playing in different scenarios. All these experiences, they just help you. The last 2 years I've played in so many European tours, World Series, major tournaments, pro tours. Everything just adds to the knowledge bank, and that's another one that will help me in the long run.
And to win the biggest titles, you often have to overcome real adversity. Could we be looking back at this in maybe a week's time as a defining moment?
Yeah, you could do, of course. I mean, if I carry on playing like this, I won't be world champion. It's pretty simple as that. Someone will catch me out and they'll beat me. But now I can go back to my original darts and go back to the normal ones. Who knows, I could reignite and start playing really well. I might play really rubbish. That's the great thing about darts, no one knows, do they? But big win for myself there. It allows me to keep the dream alive, and we're going to the next one, not remembering what's happened tonight, and hopefully it goes a lot better than it did.
Thanks, Luke. Well done.
Thank you.
Luke, many congratulations. You talk about the equipment there and obviously going to get that dart repointed. Can you get emotionally attached to the equipment? Is that a good or a bad thing?
Yeah, I mean, it's not emotionally attached. I think it's just a set of darts that have won me pretty much everything in the last 2 years. So it's not an emotional thing. It's just a thing that it's a set of darts that wins me everything. So in your mind, you want to throw them darts, don't you? So yeah, it wasn't the greatest thing. And when it hit the board, it didn't even hit a wire. It just went into 25. I was just throw at the bullseye, and the dart just come back at me. The point didn't hit a wire or anything. So strange situation. Something I've never had to deal with in my life before, but in my mind I was thinking get through the game and then you can sort it out, but that didn't help me at all. My mind was everywhere tonight. It wasn't focused like it should have been, but how I can get that dart sorted, and next round I'll be back to my original set.
I don't know if you believe in fate, but last year Michael Smith was 3-1 down to a German as well and found a way to win, and you've done exactly the same, and we all know what happened with him. Yeah,
I do believe in fate, but I think that you have to be careful not to think about, all these things, because I've got 4 incredibly tough games to go yet. So, fate is one of them things, but I think I'll look at it as if I win, then fate took its course. If I don't, I'll be back the next year to come back and try and win it then. But my whole career don't define this, the next couple of days or the next 7, 8 or whatever, 9 days, whatever it is. You know, I've got a great career ahead of me if I work hard, and nothing relies on these next 9 days. I've had a great year, proud of my achievements, but obviously I'm going to go hard and try and win it.
Normally here at Ali Pali, the English get great support, but that was a real hostile atmosphere, and you showed it towards the end just to let everyone know.
Yeah, it was quite surprising. I thought, you know, there was going to be a good German crowd. I think that 40% of the tickets were German people. I thought, you know, the English crowd was going to voice with them, and they kind of did in the end when I was coming back. But you got to give credit to them because, you know, they were fantastic in there. There was about 3 people that were just whistling and booing every single throw. I don't know if you picked it up on the cameras or anything like that, but it was just ridiculous in every throw. But what can you do about it? There's nothing you can do. They've paid their tickets, they come, and if they want to try and do that and affect the game, then it's impossible to stop them. But they got what they deserved in the end with the reaction.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Phil.
Luke, how did you manage to keep your composure in those pressure moments, especially with the crowd reacting the way they were?
I don't know, to be honest. I felt really nervy in the end. You know, when I went 3-all, I felt back in the game then, and back in the game from nowhere. You know, I didn't feel like I was anywhere near even, you know, possessing a charge to come forward against him to even stand a chance of winning in one more set. So when I was 3-1, 1-0 down, you know, sometimes people accept defeat. I didn't, but I just thought, you know, there's nothing coming back. And I wasn't like challenging him any legs of the game. You know, I wasn't like hitting 11 darters to, you know, say there was a sign. There was no sign. But I think over the last few months I've showed a lot of grit and determination in so many games I've played in, and I've just showed it once again. And I think that is, if you ask me what was one of my best traits, I'd say that was it. You know, a lot of grit and determination to come back from the brink of defeat. Did it against Peter Wright in the Grand Prix. And I did it against Garance in the Grand Slam. So these are all experiences that if I didn't go through them, might not have helped me in the game tonight.
When it went 3-all, did it feel at all like the tide had turned, the momentum was on your side or not?
Yeah, I mean it did. I felt like momentum was on my side, and then all of a sudden you feel like, well, now you can win the game. You know, and then when I won the first leg in that set, then you know I start feeling a bit nervy because you feel like you've got a chance all of a sudden then. But when I was like 3-1 down, you didn't feel like there was a chance. So then all of a sudden the pressure comes on you. And I felt like I dealt with it well. Ricardo played really well because obviously the crowd were quite, well, I say quite much more on his side. And then when they're on your side so much, it's kind of hard because it puts pressure on you to start performing. But you know, I coped really well, and I'm really, really proud of myself for that performance on the comeback.
Does what you've experienced tonight give you any sympathy for other players, particularly Gerwyn Price, who's experienced this many times over the last couple of years?
Yeah, for sure, it does, of course. But I can also sit and say Ricardo can never complain about a crowd again, because I've just experienced one of the worst ever. I think when he played against Bo and Nathan, you know, I don't think it was as bad as what I just experienced. So I don't think he can never complain about a crowd again, because that was 10 times worse than what he ever experienced. But it will take a lot from it as well, because I think he'll realise that, you know, he's got a good following, good support, and if he has a crowd against him, he's just got to do what I did. Don't react until you've won the game, and then you can give it to them against the crowd that are giving you everything. But it's a massive stepping stone in my career. It's another thing ticked off. You know, a game where I fell out of it, and I've managed to pull it back again.
Thank you, Luke.
Thank you.
Luke, what's it say about your mental strength that, say, compared to 12 months ago, that you had everything going on with the crowd, point snapping, that you were still able to come through when you felt like you was giving nothing back to come out here and talk to us as the winner?
Yeah, I mean, it says a lot about the character that's in my game. I'm still, you know, new to this in a way. I think this is like my 6th year as a professional, so I'm still learning. You know, I think a lot of people expect a lot from me so early on in my career, but you know, I'm still learning. 3-time major champion in 6 years is something that I probably would never have ever thought. So I don't want to get too ahead of myself and start thinking, oh, this is the year I have to be world champion. You know, maybe I am putting too much pressure on myself, not from the media, on myself. But you know, I've had a lot of, you know, the first game is just one you want to get through. Second game, you know, I've not had the ideal prep, have I really? So hopefully everything goes a lot better in the next game, and everything, you know, the preparation does.
We know that with some players, if the crowd get on their back, they can react sort of throughout the match. How difficult was it to try and block that out and bottle it up and not let it out until the very end after you got over the line?
Yeah, it was really tough. I wanted to give it to him every throw to him, and every leg I won, I wanted to give it to him back. But we've seen from many occasions that doesn't help your case, does it? So that's another thing that comes with experience. You know, watching and knowing that you know, if you start reacting, it never ends well, does it? So in the back of my mind, I'm just thinking, win the game, and then you can give it back to them a little bit. And I hope they enjoyed it, because they deserved it, the amount of abuse I got from them. But that's part and parcel, and I suppose this is what the game's come to, and we just have to embrace it. And if they do give you that bit of abuse, you give it back to them at the end.
We know that you planned on playing with new equipment in 2024. Does the struggles with new equipment tonight maybe change that a little bit?
I mean, that's one of them things I haven't guaranteed I'm going to do. That's just something I'm going to try out. You know, I've got some new darts that are a bit more grip on them, and they feel great. I really like them from Red Dragon, so I'm going to give them a go. You know, for a week or 10 days, and if it ain't what it wants to be for me, then obviously I'll stick with the originals. So, you know, these are a set of darts though that have won me many major titles. But it gets to that point where you think, is it worth breaking what ain't broken? Have we seen people in the past that have changed equipment and all of a sudden it's not worked out well for them? So, you know, I think for me, winning titles and not like royalties from I don't know what that was then. So yeah, you've got to. Sorry, I was throwing me.
Tried to put you off in here.
You jamming? Yeah, so it's just one of them things. I think that I think one that I'm throwing. I'm sorry, I can't remember what I was saying. Yeah, about the darts. Yeah, so maybe it's just something I'll try out, and we'll see how it goes. But the darts I'm throwing with now are working all right. I won't look at you because you're laughing. Thank you.
Tim?
Hi, Luke.
Hello.
Congrats. I'm from the Netherlands.
Oh, that's all right then.
We're writing about you as the big favourite, and we told Michael van Gerwen also, we asked him how is it to be not the favourite, and he said to us, ask Luke and he will say my name as the big favourite of the tournament. Is that true?
I'm the favourite. I'm not going to repeat what he wants me to say. I think, you know, of course he is right in what he says. I understand that, but I think I deserved when I walked into this room as the tournament favourite, because what I've done the last 2 months, I deserved that. But I think if you're going to place your bet, you probably would Michael, and there's only one reason, is because he's been the most consistent and best dart player of the last 10 years. You know, if you're going to rely on someone to perform, you know it's going to be Michael, because he's a very reliable performer, isn't he? He 9 times out of 10 he plays a fantastic tournament. For me, you can have 7 or 8 times out of 10 that I'll perform in that tournament. So of course, you know, you're going to go with a reliable player. But for me, I feel like I deserve that tag. Probably ain't got it anymore because I've been rubbish. But you know, I'm still in the tournament, so it doesn't bother me whether I'm favourite or 10th favourite.
I can say you're still the favourite.
Thank you very much.